Welcome, it's Shade here. This is our Freebie Friday video, of course. Today's question is, what can I do as a widow or widower to make sure that my spouse's property is now in my name? Well, there are three things you can do as a widow or widower, supposing that you weren't added to the title while your spouse was alive. The first thing you want to do is try to assume the mortgage, if there's a mortgage on that house or property. Try to assume the mortgage, so that when you assume it, that just means that you're taking over the loan, and that way the title can also be put into your name. So ask the lender, what can you do to assume the loan? And most of the time they would allow you to do that, since you're a very close relative. The second thing you can do, if you have resources of your own, is to go ahead and pay off the outstanding mortgage. Once you pay off the outstanding mortgage, the lender would do a release of the lien that they have on there, and that title would automatically be in your name. But make sure the title is in your name when you do that, because it will be in your spouse's name as a first step, and get a lawyer to transfer it into your name. And then if you don't have the resources to do that, the other way you could actually do that, if the lender is not willing to allow you to assume the loan, you can go ahead and qualify for your own mortgage against the same property. So basically, you'll go through the same lender and try to get a loan through them under your name, so that the loan is transferred into your name, and so then the title would also be transferred into your name, because they're two different things. The title is the one that attaches to the physical property itself, and the loan is just the peace of mind for the lender to secure their interest in that property. And last but not least, if you're not able to do the assumption through that lender, and you're not able to qualify for your own mortgage through that lender, then the third thing you could possibly do is to find a different lender and try to get a loan through a third-party lender, to see if they would approve for you to get that amount to cover the old mortgage, pay that other old lender off, and then make sure a lawyer transfers the deed into your name once you pay that other loan off. So those are the three ways you can assume directly. That also usually needs some sort of qualification for the mortgage, but it's not as strict. The guidelines are not as strict as if you were trying to get a fresh loan. The second thing you could do, of course, is to get a loan for yourself from the current lender that's already holding the mortgage. And last but not least, if all those two options don't work, you can go to a third-party lender and try to get a loan through them. And if all of that doesn't work, you can still continue to make the payments on the mortgage and transfer the title at a later time. That doesn't really cause any issues, unless you have relatives that might come up and try to claim the property from underneath you, or unless you are not getting the notifications of the statements, the amounts due and taxes due and things like that. But you can actually continue to pay, and in the future, when you're able to pay it off, then you can get a lawyer to transfer the title into your name. So those are really the three options, plus option number 4, which is do nothing for right now other than continue to pay the mortgage. And if there's no mortgage on the property, of course, all you have to do is get a lawyer to make sure the deed is transferred to you, and that would make sure that the property is titled in your name. And these are our tips for you for today. If you have any questions, check in with someone that knows about this area of law. And as always, enjoy your Friday, and I'll talk to you next week.